Hello and welcome to Carbon Books. My name is Mark Andrew James, otherwise known as Mr. Carbonatom, and this is the Carbonist Manifesto 21st Century Worldviews. I'm the formulator of the first quantum theory of life called the theory of Carbonology, which explains that all life is fundamentally based on carbon, and the element carbon and the atom carbon. In this theory, all living things, from birds to humans to technology to plants, are all basically gigantic carbon atoms. It's that simple. And that's why we look the way we do. We look like a carbon atom. So the brain is a gigantic carbon nucleus. This book takes into account humanism. We talk about humanism. I'm classically a humanist. But with the theory of carbonology now, humanists can have a really solid understanding of what life is and how it starts and comes about. This book goes into a lot of history, the history of religion, how religions have come about, the idea of gods, heavens, hells, other deities, things like that. Of course, I don't believe in any of these things, so we look at these in a very critical way. And it also looks at how the Bible was created and other famous documents of a similar nature, which is quite a surprise to people. Most Christians have no idea how the Bible came about. They don't know anything about it at all. But when I was a child at church, I would ask questions like that. How did the Bible come about? And I was always told off. So from the age of 12 and 13, because of this, every time I asked a question like, what evidence do we have that Jesus existed? I was always told not to ask questions like that. And that just simply made me ask even more questions and made me doubt what I was doing even more. So this book goes into all that detail. We look at the formation of the universe, the solar system, the earth, how life comes about and what actually happens for life to come about through the element carbon. And then we go into other things as well, like we look at the future of humankind and the fact that carbonism makes predictions about that. So we also look at things like what a god is, not supernatural, but a real determination of a god. In this theory, a god is what you become as a human being decades from now, a very advanced life form that has enormous power. We're already well down that path now, and it's only going to get more that way. We also look at heavens and hells. Again, nothing supernatural, real, in this world, in this life, right now. So there's a ton of material in here. We look at the wrong 10 commandments. Christians have always had the wrong set. We look at all the Jesus characters that have existed. There have been an enormous number over history, and the different stories and how they've changed over time and moved around the world. But the bottom line here is that there is no justification for any of it. We've never had a single supernatural phenomenon ever described or demonstrated in the whole of human history, as far as we know. So let's have a look at the book. So it's a beautifully printed book, lovely glossy book, all of our books are. It's not a huge read. And again, if you want to pause the video right now, you can have a look at the back. So flicking through it, life, the universe and everything, because that's what this book is. So there's the first contents page. If you would like to pause the video now, you can have a look at that. And then the second contents page, again, you can pause and have a read. And then we go into the theory of carbonology. That's always the first thing I talk about, because people need to know that in order to move on. We look at abiogenesis, we look at all sorts of extraordinary things. This is the evolution of the universe and the solar system. We look at the history of atheism and how atheism came about, and lots of other things besides. It's packed full of brand new mind-blowing ideas. So get a hold of this book and let me blow your mind. Those are the wrong 10 commandments. That's extraordinary. Amazing how Christianity has gone this length of time with the wrong set, but there you go, that's half of the problem. So flicking all the way through, there's the collapse of my theism, how I became an atheist. And then towards the back we get into all these predictions. We also talk about the physics of morality. We also talk about robots and the future of gods and other things like that. Heavens and hells over the universe. Again, nothing supernatural. So it's an amazing book. Absolutely incredible. What is the supernatural? So there you go. So that book is just $12.95 at carbonbooks.net. So get ordering and let me blow your mind. Thank you.